Do you ever feel like you're swimming upstream, constantly fighting against the current of life? Do you find yourself struggling to let go of your desires and attachments, even though they may be holding you back? If so, then perhaps it's time to consider the changing power of surrendering. In this video, we'll explore the concept of surrendering from a mystical and metaphysical perspective, drawing insights and inspiration from the teachings of the great ascended masters. Non-resistance is a principle that teaches us to flow with the natural rhythms of life, rather than resisting or fighting against them. It is like the gentle breeze that flows through the trees, bending but not breaking them. In the same way, we too must learn to bend and flow with the currents of life. The great ascended masters, such as Buddha, Christ, and Lao Tzu, all understood the importance of surrendering to a higher wisdom or power. They recognized that our ego-driven desires and attachments can often lead us astray, causing us to lose touch with our true nature and purpose. Through the act of surrendering, we release ourselves from the limitations of the ego and connect with a higher intelligence that can guide us towards our highest potential. This intelligence is like a river that flows through us, carrying us effortlessly towards our destination. We need only surrender ourselves to its current and trust in its wisdom. Surrendering is not a passive act, but rather an active choice. It is like the warrior who lays down his weapons and surrenders to a higher cause, realizing that true power comes from aligning oneself with a greater purpose. In surrendering, we must learn to let go of our own preconceptions and desires, and open ourselves up to new possibilities and ways of being. This can be a challenging process, as it often requires us to confront our own fears and insecurities. But when we embrace non-resistance, we can find greater peace and harmony in our lives, and connect with a deeper sense of purpose and meaning. The great ascended masters were all examples of this transformational power of surrendering. Buddha surrendered to the impermanence of life and the interconnectedness of all things, finding liberation from the cycle of suffering. Christ surrendered to the will of God, trusting in a higher power to guide him towards his destiny. Lao Tzu surrendered to the natural order of things, finding harmony and balance in the Tao. In embracing non-resistance and surrendering, we become like the sailboat that adjusts its sails to catch the wind, rather than fighting against it. We become more aligned with the natural flow of life and experience greater ease and grace in our journey. Remember that resistance only leads to more struggle and suffering, while surrendering allows us to tap into a greater wisdom and connect with a higher purpose. By releasing our attachments and desires, we can find true freedom, peace, and joy. So, I urge you to take the first step on this path and trust in the natural flow of life. Let go of your fears and doubts, and open yourself up to the infinite possibilities that await. May you find the strength and courage to surrender and embark on a journey towards greater spiritual awakening.